years away from that constellation, I was all into that. I was totally into it. I was super into anything space. Are you kidding? The Science Channel?
Oh my God, you had me. You had me so good.
With the CGI, with all those CGI DVDs. All those DVDs, BBC Nova, were floating in space, spinning around the sun, and the sun has got some gravitational pull on us, and we got the gravitational pull on the moon. That doesn't make sense. That's not science to me. When people talk about science this, science that, I go, explain to me how that is science. There's a force that's holding oceans, keeping it from spinning and flying off because it's spinning 1,000 miles an hour. But as soon as we get to a certain altitude, it's all magic. It's not science. All that's magic. Us floating in space, and we're being connected to the sun. It has this force that's connected. That seems crazy. And we're flying through the universe, and the universe is endless. Like people say, well, if the Earth is flat, where's the edge? Like, where's the edge of this motherfucking universe?
The center of the world.
Understanding what reality is very, very important to me. I think it should be important to everybody. And I think the more that people become perhaps what they call spiritually aware or awake, they're starting to see through things and how things have been manipulated and reality's been created for them.
If God forbid everybody came and started demanding answers, and once they can't provide those answers, people realize they are busted. It can't be a mistake. It can't be anything but the deception and control mechanism it is. Because people are waking up. And no matter how much they try to suppress this flat earth movement, oh, it's gonna keep moving one way or another. You can see it. People are waking up. So now, louder than ever, I can hear that clock. Tick-tock, 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 tick-tock.
In other breaking news, the world is round, not flat.
A strange message on Mount Rubidoux. The words Google Flat Earth were found carved into the riverside hill in letters that were 10 feet long. Police talked to the person who did it. He's not facing charges yet. One possible explanation of the message: some still believe the world is flat, not round, and post about it online.
So you can check with theodolites and telescopes and different methods, lasers, to see if the Earth actually does have that curvature. And it's been tested over and over again and found to have no curvature whatsoever. So I mean, even if they had the number wrong and it was 100,000 miles in circumference, there would still be calculable, measurable curvature that just isn't there. The only place curvature exists is in NASA photos and videos, and those can be proven to be CGI fakes. And the early ones were literally taken through a round window to make the Earth appear round. Literally taken through a round window to make the Earth appear round.
Oh, this is a shot from 130,000 miles out. I guess it's from approaching. It's from approaching the moon, looking back at the Earth. If that's the Earth, is that like another spacecraft?
No. That I have no idea what that is. It's some aberration on the film of some sort. Oh, those are shadows, I think. Or reflections, probably reflections that are just reflecting.
Run that back again so we get another shot of it.
Okay, turn off the camera. Your interview is done. I've given you all the time I'm going to give you.
Okie dokie. Good to meet you.
I don't say it's a pleasure.
Understand.
Please get your ass out of my house.
Okay.
And you came here under false pretenses, and I think you're an asshole.
lying about going to the moon is a satanic lie of gigantic proportions.
I don't hit people, but you're going to be on the deck unless you get...
I'm heading out. I appreciate it.
And get the hell out of the Black House. You'll get a gun to shoot them at them before they get out of the office?
We have a video camera running if you want to do it.
Right.
That would be great footage for us. See you later. In court, I hope.
Want to call the CIA? Have them whacked.
Where you put a transparency over the window and move the camera of the Earth. I moved the camera back away from the window, turned off the lights in the spacecraft, and appeared to be halfway to the moon when in fact they were in Earth orbit.
Huh, really?
Yeah, and they said it was the same way that you did it on Apollo 10. So we wanted to give you the opportunity to put your left hand on the Bible, to raise your right hand, to swear to God.
Stick it in your ear.
If you walked on the moon, we're giving the opportunity to swear to God that you walked on the moon.
I'm going to give you the opportunity to get the hell knocked out of you if you don't leave me alone.
We found a very unique reel of footage that we have queued up to show you.
Yeah.
And it's from the mission. And to our knowledge, no one has ever seen it before. And it's 30 years old.
And you want me to see this while you have me on camera?
Well, and to tell us what it is. That's correct. And you'll see this tape proves that.
Okay, well, I'm not interested in satisfying your suppositions when there's all this evidence that we did.
This proves, as you see, that you were using the window to demonstrate that you were halfway to the moon when you were
Turn the camera off, please. Turn the camera off. Well, you're talking to the wrong guy. Why don't you talk to the administrator at NASA? We're passengers. We're guys going on a flight.
You're a coward and a liar and a thief. Did you see shooting stars? Did you see the shooting stars?
Yeah, I'm getting to that.
Oh, okay.
But there's a lot of noise going on. So I don't know the results of some of the experiments they've conducted. The point is they can't get that far from here, and they're really in the protective confines of the Earth. They're really in the protective confines of the Earth. They're really in the protective
International Space Crew attempted a spacewalk outside the station. Here's a live look at the astronauts. Well, I don't think that's... Yeah. Where's their space?
So this is photo trickery and brainwashing that's got the world thinking that we're on a ball spinning around the sun with a magical force called gravity holding us on the underside of this spinning ball. It's all just brainwashing that we've received. It's pseudoscience accepted as legit science. But real science has confirmed geocentricity in the flat Earth. Flat Earth. Flat Earth. The best way to brainwash the whole world, to lie to the whole world about what the world is. In reality, we're not a cosmic accidental sneeze, nothingness turned everything. This is quite obviously intelligently designed, this thing we're experiencing here, this life, this universe. I can't believe anyone in their right mind can look me in the eyes with a straight face and say, no man, it's all random.
Be open-minded about this. This is very, very controversial and difficult to get your head round. The first of which is the scientific method, something that the scientific community doesn't seem to use these days. But the scientific method is where a theory or opinion is put forward that matches what we observe. The other thing we have to accept is how easily our minds, once they've been programmed or given a world view, how easily those minds can be fooled.
I used to dream, I used to glance beyond the stars. Now I don't know where we are, although I know we're drifting by.
isn't spinning or orbiting or being dragged. The Earth is fixed, and it's the stars that are moving.
People can't stand change. They don't like what they don't understand. We all have our own pursuit of happiness. Don't listen to someone's stories and say, and what? You need more? Is their happiness not good enough for you? So you judge them like you know. True happiness brings happiness to others. We are all a family. Separate family trees connected at the root. We are intelligent beings with a mind, body, and soul who truly want world peace. At least that's my goal. What happened to love? All I see is hate. The way we treat others on earth, death and chaos is our only fate. Every living thing has value and should be treated as such. We only have one earth, but act like we have so much. Do you not realize we are in control, not the 2%, who so-called own the world because it was money well spent? When there is no food, will you eat the money? When there is nothing left, will you still think this is funny? Remember, I warned you. I hope I opened your eyes so the world really gets better before it's too late to realize. Please spread the word. Please spread the word. Please spread the word. Please spread the word.
The directive I'm signing today will refocus America's space program on human exploration and discovery. It marks an important step in returning American astronauts to the moon for the first time since 1972 for long-term exploration and use. This time, we will not only plant our flag and leave our footprint, we will establish a foundation for an eventual mission to Mars and perhaps someday to many worlds beyond.
I'd go to the moon in a nanosecond. The problem is we don't have the technology to do that anymore. We used to, but we destroyed that technology, and it's a painful process to build it back again. It's a painful process to build it back again.
Many of us and many other people in many places have speculated on the meaning of this first landing on another body in space. Would each of you give us your estimate of what is the meaning of this to all of us?
You want to try that? Can't forget.
That's how fake what they're showing us is. That it is fake because it's fake. And they're going to continue to fake it until they're gone. They must only exist to perpetrate the fraud. That's their entire goal.
We've been lied to. I will not be fooled by aliens coming because there are no aliens. There's no space.
It's bottom of the barrel garbage. I don't see anything that tells me that we've been outside of low Earth orbit. So if that's the case, then that means that they can only get so high and they might be able to fly around at that height. But after that, everything from that point, and if you want to know that point, watch any space launch video. It's the point where the camera switches. Simple. So many people believe things that they've never done research on because it seems to be matter of fact.
You have to use your own imagination as to what the world might be because we were lied to about what it is.
My imagination isn't trying to deceive me.
This world is very different from what most people think it is.
Rise up and look at that great cosmic light and think about it. That gets up in the eastern horizon every morning and moves across the sky with a kind of symphony of motion and paints its technicolor across the blue, a light that man can never make.
Very simple indeed to just silence everybody, put an end to this topic once and for all, turn the Hubble round and show us Earth in real time, zooming in onto a place so that we can see what's happening at that place, and we know that there is something up there looking down on us from space. But they will not do it. They can't do it. It doesn't exist. It literally doesn't exist.
The same guys that fake 6 moon missions, the greatest human achievement of all mankind, they fake 6 of them, and this is where I thought we had like scientists just fucking, oh, there's all these scientists with their telescopes and they're looking, and that's what I thought. I go, what about all the scientists? Yeah, all these scientists, they're looking at telescopes. That's what I thought. They're all looking at telescopes, all these scientists. They're looking at telescopes. And then you find out they're not fucking looking at it. The same motherfuckers who fake 6 moon missions, these are the same guys that are giving us all our information on space. Right there, I'm like, oh, they're lying to us. Everything they're saying to us, they're lying to us. Everything is a lie. They're all saying, but the information about space, no, that's true.
I get that.
That's true. No, it's fucking all bullshit. All you gotta do is look into it, and you're gonna realize that it's all bullshit.
Eddie,
bullshit. All the information on space, bullshit. Can you name 5 scientists and that are alive? Name 5 scientists that are alive. I'm waiting.
This next question comes from Twitter user Aku, who asks, any estimations on how old these discovered exoplanets are?
Yeah, the age of the star and the system itself is poorly constrained. We know it's not very young, it doesn't show signs of youngness, so it's at least 500 million years old. But we can't say more because these ultra-cool dwarf stars, they evolve super slowly. Their lifetime is 1,000 times larger than for a sun-like stars. So we don't see them evolving, so we can't constrain their ages.
All right, this next question comes from Facebook Live here. What is the distance between these 3 planets? Is it something like 500,000 kilometers? And what is the distance between E and the star?
The distance between the planets are a few times the distance between the Earth and the Moon. So we're talking about something like millions of kilometers and not hundreds of millions of kilometers for an Earth around a sun-like star. And for the planet F, or E, the distance is something like 5% the distance between the Earth and the Sun. So it's much, much closer to its star.
I think it's important that everybody does their own research, and I try to point that out as often as possible, and I try to say it as often as I can, because if you ever are listening to what someone's telling you, or you're watching me point out space fakery or what I think is a hoax, I'm doing that to kind of get you on your way. But all of space travel is fake. All of outer space and the way that we've been taught it, planets and nebulas, is completely different than we've been taught. And that realization ultimately comes with looking into this stuff yourself. People think space is what they've been told because they've been told. And that goes for scientists, that goes for professors, to look into the things that they're teaching. To tell children that they're spinning on a ball is an extraordinary claim. And to say that we're flying through space and that the atmosphere sticks with Earth sounds like extraordinary claims. Sounds like it's just ad hoc explanations for things that we would see on a spinning ball that we don't see because it's not spinning and it's not a ball. If they found out that what they're teaching is a lie, they would all stop tomorrow. And so I think that the main point of what I'm trying to say is going to be the importance behind actually doing your own research and showing NASA to be the fraud that they are. Because of the education that we were given, and because of the indoctrination, and because of every TV show and video and commercial and logo. If you're about the truth, if you care about actually talking about what things are true, and you actually respect people who are willing to speak out about that, then you will, come to the realization eventually that we've been lied to, on the largest possible scale. But I also know 100% one thing, and that's that they're hiding God. Without a doubt, in my mind, that is the reason for this all. And like you said, people are getting paid to do it.
Students' claim is reigniting the debate about prayer in schools. The high schooler says an administrator kept her from praying before she ate her lunch.
Senior running back Pedro Banda scored the touchdown that would send his team to the playoffs for the first time. But what Pedro did next got him kicked out of the game and put his football future in jeopardy. He pointed his hand to the sky and thanked God.
When we say public schools, what we really mean is government schools. We have given to the government the role of educating our children. I think that's a bad idea. Very bad idea. Very bad idea.
Students all across America, thousands and thousands of students who are learning. They're learning about space flight.
Wouldn't that be nice? Can you believe that space is going to do that?
NASA does what they can to teach you about something you'll never experience. And they force it down your throat as if it is part of your experience. And people have adopted it as if space travel is part of their experience, as if orbits are part of your experience, as if satellites are part of your experience. Because of the research I've done, that clearly shows me that these things are not legit. And I think people need to really take the time to look into satellites, for instance, just as an example. That, yeah, we're told satellites exist. We're told what they do. And if I say they don't exist and somebody makes a video and says, well, right here, you can go to this website and it says right here that satellites exist and what they do. If it's a deception, well then, no shit, Sherlock, if you go check out a web page that's about satellites, then you're not going to find the deception there. It's something that people just don't do. They don't demand proof of things that we're told. That's the problem. It is absolutely a joke to be shown CGI images, to be shown black and white images of Saturn's rings. It's a joke. It is absolutely the worst thing I've ever seen because of what it does to the minds of people. And science should always be about moving towards the truth. And science should never be settled. It should never be settled science. And it should always be open for question. It should always be open for new evidence to come along. And that's not the science we're given today. We live in the world. We see with our eyes every day. You can recognize what's real, what's real, what's real. And what's not, and what's not, and what's not, and what's not. I'm not going to adopt something as my belief until I've done the research behind it, and you understand that, and you recognize the power behind research and investigation.